We're ready for you to hit. Thank you.
You got it. Thanks. Well, hi, I'm Andy McGuire. Can you hear me in the back there? Great. Couple of things first. Have you noticed how we've got Dean and Chris and all the spouses, Renee, and we've got a mom, Gwen. Can we give the candidates, they're great candidates, can we give their spouses and their families a hand? No, it's a family affair, we all know that. But I'm Andy McGuire, I'm running for governor. I have some great people in the audience I've known for a while. Some of them I've known since kindergarten. So for those of you who don't know me, I grew up in Waterloo, Iowa. I was one of a family of 8. My dad was a World War II veteran, came home and started a construction machinery business. My mom stayed home with us. And what I remember the most, and it's a lot, I was talking to some people over here about this, was caring about other people. You know, I've been hearing that from some of the candidates about, you know, if somebody was sick, we went and helped them out. And if somebody was down on their luck, we got them back on their feet. And that's why I became a doctor, because I could see the power of helping someone, especially when they're sick or injured. But I've been going on to all 99 counties, and I gotta tell you folks, that's not what I hear right now. I hear from a lot of people who feel like they can't get a fair shake, and they feel like they can't get ahead for their families. And honestly, they feel like the Reynolds administration, the Republican legislature, is putting profits ahead of people. Is that right, Todd? Yeah. Well, I want to change that. I want to be a governor that makes sure every person can be the success they need to be. Every person has that opportunity. So I hear a lot about health care, and just so that, you know, we say this line a lot, but it means something to me as a doctor. Health care is a right, not a privilege. Every person should be able to have affordable, accessible health care. You know, and I talk to people about this Medicaid privatization, or as I call it, Medicaid mess. And it is a mess. And this is something that as a doctor and someone who's been in healthcare my whole life, I know how to fix this. And I talk to families, and they have kids with special needs, and they're not sure they're going to be able to take care of their kids at home anymore because they're cutting back services so that they may have to institutionalize their kids. Just imagine that feeling. Or the feeling that a mother who has a disabled child and she has to drive an hour and a half to get her child health care. That's what this is doing. This Medicaid privatization is making it so people do not have access to health care. 600,000 of our citizens. Think about that. We have to change that. I will fix that. I will bring it back into the state and make sure that every person on Medicaid and every person who needs health care can get health care right here in Iowa. I talk a lot about mental health, substance abuse and addiction. I'm going to guess that every one of you has a family member or a friend who's suffering with mental health struggles or substance abuse or addiction. It's that widespread. And yet, we're 50th as an Iowa state. We're 50th in mental health beds, 47th in mental health providers. And we've honestly turned our law enforcement into our first-line mental health providers. And, you know, God bless them, but, you know, they try to keep people safe, but their opportunity to take people to the emergency room or to jail. Now, those are two of the worst places, folks, for people, plus two of the most expensive places for someone who's struggling. Now, think if we took that money and we made it a priority to have community mental health, that we could help people before they're in crisis. Think what we could do for our neighbors and friends. That's the governor I'll be. I'll make sure that mental health, substance abuse, and addiction are priorities, and we make them ones for all our citizens so we can take care of people. You know, I talk a lot about public education, and we've heard about teachers. Are there any teachers in the audience? Can we give them a hand? You know, I don't know where any of us would be without a public education. I mean, that's how we become successful, right? I would tell you that I would never be a doctor except for a teacher. There was a teacher who told me that I was good at math and science, which some of the women in the audience my age will know they didn't tell us we were good at math and science. I'll be done in a minute. And so he told me I was good at math and science. He thought I should be a doctor. I'd never even seen a woman doctor. So that's the kind of things teachers do. Plus, that Parkland shooting, they stood in the doorway and let those kids in and risked their lives and sometimes lost their lives. So let's give those teachers one more round of applause. You know, we need to give them the resources they need, the respect they deserve to teach every one of our kids in every zip code in Iowa. So people ask me why I'm doing this. Well, I have 7 kids and 1 grandchild. And I'm doing it for my kids and my grandchildren, for your kids and your grandchildren, to make sure every child in Iowa can be the success they need to be right here in Iowa. That I see an Iowa where they have clean air and clean water. I see an Iowa with great, accessible, affordable health care. I see an Iowa where people move here because our public education is so good. I see an Iowa with great jobs everywhere with great benefits. That's the kind of Iowa I see. That's the governor I want to be. I'd love to have your support. I'd love to earn it and talk to all of you. Thank you for being here tonight. It's McGuire for governor. Thank you so much.